Alright guys, here we go.
Ignition. And lift off. Godspeed, Apollo 11, Michael Final on. May the pursuit of exploration live on.
Oh gosh. Okay guys, we got lift off. This is good. This is a good sign, guys. We got lift off. Sorry, the audio is choppy. Here we go. Range. I'll be right back.
Stage 1, propulsion is nominal.
Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station, carrying our stack of Starlink satellites to orbit. The next event coming up here shortly is Max Q. Max Q is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle sees on ascent. So throttling down those engines helps us pass through that large structural load.
Here we go. Alright, give me a second, guys.
Vehicle has reached maximum aerodynamic pressure.
And there's that call out that we passed through Max Q. In about a minute, we'll have 3 events happening within seconds of each other. The first will be MECO, or main engine cutoff, followed by stage separation, and SES1, or second engine start 1. Now, MECO is where we shut down all 9 of the engines on the first stage.
MVAC engine chill.
Alright guys, so far so good.
Just a call out that the MVAC chill has begun on that second stage engine.
Yeah guys, I just got back, so...
So for MECO, we shut down all 9 of the engines, and that slows the vehicle down in preparation for that second event, which is stage separation. Stage separation is where the first stage separates from the second stage, and first stage will begin its journey back home, heading towards our drone ship. Just read the instructions, while stage 2 continues on its journey with the third event, SES1, or second engine start 1. And that is where we light up that MVAC engine, and it propels the second stage along with the Starlink satellites towards its drop-off orbit.
What is this called? Oh, there you go. Okay, here we go. Main engine cutoff. Coming up right... Hopefully right now?
And MECO.
Come on, main engine cutoff.
Stage separation
confirmed. Oh, that kind of looked rough. Looked like a rough cutoff.
MVAC ignition.
Alright, let's do this, guys.
We had MECO and stage separation. On your left-hand screen is a view from the first stage. On your right-hand screen is a view of that second stage engine. You kind of saw a glow of that T-tub, that green flame, when we ignited that engine. We're coming up on fairing deploy here shortly.
Alright, and fairing deployment has begun.
And there you could see confirmation on your screen that we have successfully deployed those fairing halves. And as a reminder, we will be attempting to recover the fairing halves today with a contracted recovery vessel named Sheila Bordelon.
Now we wait for a while.
On your left-hand screen, it is a little dark over there on the East Coast because it is nighttime, but we did get some glimpses of the sunlight hitting those grid fins. See if we can get some more views of that in a little bit.
You know?
As stage 2
Acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
As stage 2 takes our Starlink satellites to their targeted drop-off orbit, stage 1 will make its way back to Earth by executing 2 burns. The first is the entry burn, and that's where we light up 3 of the 9 M1D engines. And this will help to slow the stage down as it re-enters back into the upper parts of the Earth's atmosphere. The second of those 2 burns for that first stage is called the landing burn. And this is where a single engine, the center engine, will reignite and bring the vehicle speed down rapidly in order to touch down on that drone ship. As a reminder, we are attempting to land on Just Read the Instructions tonight. And those M1D engines do have a thrust of 190,000 pounds, so that lighting up that one single engine slows the entire vehicle down just enough to touch down on that drone ship. Stage 2 is still looking good, and what you're seeing on your screen is a view of that MVAC engine.
Vehicle's following a nominal trajectory.
Oh, so again, if you guys are
Now,
watching
if you're
my
just
channel,
catching up with us, we had a successful
You should
launch
join
of
the
Falcon 9 from Cape
RG
Canaveral
Discord.
Space Launch Complex 40,
yeah,
and you're
join
looking
the
at a
Discord,
live view
and
of the
it's
Falcon
actually-
9
it's
second
actually
stage
really-
as it is
you're gonna enjoy your time.
making
though.
its way
If
to
you're-
deliver our Starlink
if you wanna
payload to
learn
orbit.
more about the Starship program.
Stage 1 is currently cruising back to
really gotta
Earth
take off
towards
very
our
soon.
drone ship.
Well,
Just read the instructions
I don't know
out
what
in
context
the
I can
Atlantic
say.
Ocean.
So yeah,
We're just about a minute away from the next event on that first stage. That'll be the entry burn. Again, Starlink satellites are going to a LEO orbit or low Earth orbit, about 550 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Now, most satellites are at 36,000
so far.
kilometers or in a geo or geostationary orbit.
all right, we're about to reach entry
We are
burn.
just about roughly 30 seconds away from that
Alright, let's
entry
do
burn
it.
beginning. And on your left-hand screen, there is the first stage. It is a little dark. You can see some glimpses of the nitrogen gas burst that you see there.
Stage 1, FTS is saved.
Again, guys.
Stage 1 entry burn.
Sorry, I'll just be what's it called?
And you can see on
I'll
your
just be,
left-hand screen, the entry burn has begun as those 3 engines light up that view for us.
Just doing the first.
This entry burn will last about 20 seconds long.
Just the first stage, just for the recovery.
Stage 1 entry burn
Because I
shutdown.
know, actually, yeah.
And that concludes
Stage
It'll be another
2
hour
continues
before
to
these
follow a
dual
nominal
Starlink
trajectory.
deployment.
the entry burn, and then we
Yeah,
also got to
sorry
call
about
out
that,
that
guys.
stage 2 is still nominal.
Only the first stage.
The next event coming
This is
up
my
will
reaction
be in about a minute from now. That'll be the landing burn,
Yeah.
the start of the landing burn on the first stage. And what you're looking at live on your screen is a view from the
Alright.
second stage,
We have
looking
telemetry.
aft at the MVAC engine. That MVAC engine has
Oh, boy.
a thrust of
We're at 2,000 now.
220,500 pounds of thrust in a vacuum.
16.
Very, very powerful engine taking our Starlink
kilometers,
satellites to their
30
targeted
kilometers now.
drop-off
Here we go.
orbit.
Stage 1 transonic.
2, what? Okay.
Still
6
getting good
kilometers.
call-outs on that first stage.
5 kilometers.
We're about 15 seconds or so
4
away from that
kilometers.
landing burn beginning on the first stage.
Oh shoot, this is not good.
Stage
good,
2
not good, not
still
good, not
looking
good.
good.
I have a bad feeling. 2 kilometers. Landing burn has started.
Stage
There
1
we go.
landing burn.
Land.
Landing burn has begun. Let's watch and see
Oh boy.
if this Falcon 9 can land
Ah,
on our
shoot,
drone
it's
ship.
coming
Just
in
read
too
the
hot.
instructions.
I feel like it's coming in too hot.
And a really cool onboard view.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Here we go. Touchdown. Touchdown confirmed. Oh no.
And there you can see
Oh guys.
the first
Let's
stage
go.
Falcon 9 has landed for
Yes, is saved.
Woo.
landed
ship
for its
has
7th
landed.
time. This marks our 81st successful recovery of an orbital class rocket, and again the 7th flight and 7th landing of this booster. And then we heard a good call out for
Alright, guys.
Seco.
We just had a booster.
That's second
van,
engine cutoff.
and we'll be doing Starlink deployment later. Just go watch the
Nominal
SpaceX
parking
shoot,
orbit insertion.
'cause
And a
I'll
good
be doing
orbital
reactions
insertion.
I'm busy.
Now stage 2
Okay,
is
guys,
going to
this will
coast
wrap
in
up
this
my video
orbit
for
for the
today.
next 35
Just
minutes
my
or so.
quick
So while
reaction
that happens, we'll
for
keep
the
you
Starlink
posted on
mission,
where we
and
are in the
see you
coast phase.
guys
We'll see you
next
back
video.
here at T plus
Peace
45
out.
minutes for a second stage relay.